take a moment and show you what I'm doing. Basically, I was able to get the bottom frame square, and I'm using it as a template now. And this is kind of a big jig, but that's okay. I mean, what I did is either used a clamp with some angle iron or some pipe tubing, square tubing, to run up the sides just to give me some guides, or I welded it to the table if I couldn't clamp it so well. So that's what I'm going to do basically, is line up everything based on the bottom frame and throw some pretty good welds on it so it'll hold, so I can take them off and do the next one and the next one. There's 4 in total, so I have 3 more to do. Alright, I didn't show this, but what I ended up doing, I kind of wish I would have put longer bolts in here originally. I didn't plan on putting any side supports in here like this. I didn't think about it. If I would have put a longer bolt in there, cut off what I needed. As it is right now, it's just a little bit short. I do have a regular nut, not an eye lock, that I will put on there, and I'll go ahead and weld that on when I'm ready. I'll do that on 4 of these corners that hold this upper piece. And then I squared up this whole frame and measured diagonally from this nut to that one and vice versa. And I have a 42-inch piece that basically connects up here. And then after I had it square, this hole is already drilled. I just marked a line on there by scratching it with this. I just put it in the hole, scratched a line, found the middle 5/8 inch. This is 1 1/4 inches, so 5/8 of an inch in from the side. Punched a hole. After I punched a hole with this up to a 9/16 inch hole, I stuck a nut in there, and after sticking the nut in there, I just welded it in. I'll just take this thumb screw out just to show you what that looks like. I do not plan on grinding that down. I think it's alright. But it gives me plenty of bite and holds these things really well. Believe it or not, it's midnight, and I came out into the trailer just so I could record this final summary of the bunk beds that go in the trailer. Can be used outside of the trailer too, and I just wanted to describe a little bit more about the build process, because when I recorded this video with my new phone, I did it in 4K, and that has been giving me a lot of grief while trying to edit these videos. I have Adobe Premiere. It's been crashing when trying to export the video files. It's been a nightmare trying to edit it, so that's why it's kind of a rough video. So hopefully you forgive me on that, and I'll just try to record in 1080p in the future, and then I won't have that issue. I've spent a lot of time trying to edit this. The very first part of these beds that you saw me create was this main frame. I created 4 of them. And when I created them, I created them 30 inches by 76 inches long. That'll take a full-size adult sleeping bag. I used 1.25 inch square tubing, 14 gauge, and when I did that, I actually discovered that it was too lightweight if an adult were to step on this center bar to try to hop up to this bed, which is 4 feet up, 3 feet from that bed. I was afraid it was going to bend, so what I ended up doing was buying some 1.25 inch by 1/4 inch plate, and I welded it on to the square tubing to stiffen up that tubing, and that actually made all the difference that in the world. So I have these 1/2 inch square tubing cross members to help hold this 3/8 inch plywood. One thing I didn't show very well in the video is that when I did these cross members right here, I drilled holes through them, which I did show. I put a bolt through them from the back side, so it goes through this wall and this wall. I showed that, and then I welded that head on this side of the tubing, which I also showed. When I assembled this, that head went inside of this tubing, and then I welded it in, so it's all hidden. The only thing you saw coming out was this bolt. I wish I would have made those a little longer and cut them off as needed, but I got this to work. When I put on this cross member, I was running out of thread here, but I just put on a standard nut and I just welded it on, if I can get that to focus. This little 42-inch piece cross member here just helps stabilize it in this direction when it's in this position. I can undo that on either side, and then the whole bed flips up against the wall and is out of the way. You can see it straddles the wheel wells in this trailer, and that was by design. So when this is folded up, it doesn't come out any further than the wheel wells. It's only about maybe half the distance. And then I can use the trailer for moving stuff around if I need to, which I've already done. Or I can keep these down and use them for sleeping, or use them as shelves to hold things, say when we go camping or something like that. I'll probably leave them down in this position most of the time unless I need to pick them up, because that's what we use this trailer for, is camping and things. As you can see, I have this E-track that goes around the outside, and I ended up strapping these down with these straps. And that actually prevents this from rocking back and forth this way. I do have the cross members this way, but I don't have them this way. So standing alone, this does have a little bit of a sway to it what I would end up doing is cross tying some ropes as I did with my other bunk bed that I bought from Cabela's that I showed in a video. I believe it was October of 2015, that time frame. Or I could put these beds perpendicular to each other and tie them to each other, and that would take all the sway out of them. This way. There is no sway the other way when these cross members are on here. So anyway, there it is. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I know this video was kind of jumpy and hard to follow, but it was a much bigger pain to edit than I had planned, and I'm just trying to wrap it up at this point.